Welcome to IGH Going Rogue. Today is Monday, February 24th. And what a Sunday. Amazing Sunday. Great news. Probably one of the best news. I mean, this is going to be epic. Dan Bongino, Deputy Director for the FBI. Let's just cut to the chase. Go directly with Ron Aledo, who's joining us today. Hey, Ron. Dude, was that badass or was that badass, man? Holy shit.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Great news. I mean, Dan as a deputy director, Kash as a number one of the director. That's a dream team for the FBI.
Oh,
That
my
means
God.
a lot. That means that all the BS that have been in the FBI for the last at least 4 years, but maybe for a lot more.
Yeah, I think since before 2015. Yeah.
Yeah, from before all this culture over there, left wing, rhino culture. I mean, politically correct culture is going away. I mean, they're gonna clean the house over there. So
Yeah, man, I think it's epic. I think it's going to be epic. And we have Pam Bondi at DOJ, so she is a no bullshit kind of woman. And there needs to be a lot of cleanup over at FBI. I think we know this. You know, when we go back to the 15-16 election and we know the whole Russian collusion crap, the whole Russian hoax, it all starts there and from before. You know,
James Comey is the essence of the deep state. Is the essence. I mean, nobody represents what the deep state is more than former director of the FBI, Comey, because he, from the day one, I mean, from the very start, he was against Trump, and he wanted to use his power, his authority inside the FBI, and all the FBI agents that were with him over there in the top floor of the FBI. They were all, let's gonna go to war against Trump. Let's gonna destroy Trump. Let's gonna sabotage him. Let's gonna put him on jail. Let's gonna put in jail everybody with Trump. I mean, Comey said, "Oh, immediately the first week I sent agents to set up and to trap Lieutenant General Flynn."
yeah,
I mean, so it was amazing.
yeah.
They are the deep state. That is the classic by the book definition of the deep state.
Yeah, and Comey, McCabe, Peter Strzok, all those guys. But they didn't act alone, obviously. I think they came, with orders directly from the White House, from President Obama, and who knows who else. But I got to tell you, talking to friends in D.C. and talking to people, I'm sure you have as well, at the Bureau and some of the other agencies, especially the Bureau. They're very excited. I think the general consent is at least a third, if not half, of Washington, D.C.'s political class is running all over town through every CVS looking for Imodium AD because they're shitting themselves right now. They're in a lot of trouble. There's going to be people in a lot of trouble, Ronnie, and I'm going to go back to your background and your experience in the intel community and serving government. You take an oath, right? You take an oath when you serve, and when you break that oath, a crime or treason, right? Some people say what happened to President Trump during his first administration was treason or treasonous because that was a soft coup attempt. Everything they did in the 4 years after, from 2020 to 2021 to 2024, was political persecution.
Absolutely.
Talk to us. I
Absolutely.
mean, is this prison? Are people going to go to prison?
It is very hard um, unless there is direct evidence, email, text messages, like they getting orders from Obama, who was most likely the power behind the shadows. I mean, the puppet master of Biden. Unless let's gonna get this guy because we hate him. Unless there is something like that, it's unlikely that they will go. To jail as such. This is what happened. Let me tell you my theory
Yeah,
of what
please.
here.
Because so your background, that's what you do, right? You
Yes,
theorize,
I
you come
mean,
up with
I was
conclusions.
in DC for 12 years and many more years before that in the military. And I was over there. I was in the agencies as a contractor, as a staff person. I went many times to the Eisenhower building, to the National Security council building over there for interagency meetings. I was many years at the Pentagon in Homeland Security. I was a contractor at the CIA, contractor at the I know the environment, and this is what I think it happened. What I think it happened is Trump wins the election in 2016, and the whole establishment of DC that have become completely center left, completely leftist, completely pro Obama.
Yep.
Remember 8 years of Obama,
Yep.
and during those 8 years, Obama solidified his base, his foundation. He promotes special agents in the FBI. He promoted people in DOJ, in the Pentagon. He promoted, I mean, the whole culture. I mean, Obama was 8 years
Yeah.
promoting this leftist culture in a city that voted like 92% for
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton. So tell me. So what happened is November 2016 comes, Trump wins the elections, and they are in shock.
Yep.
They are like, what the heck happened? The whole foundation of the whole establishment is shaking. I mean, they don't know what to do. And this is what I believe that happened. Obama calls everybody, his loyalists, I mean, from the CIA, Brannan, and he calls Comey, and he calls his Pentagon people, and hey, let's do
Hey, and
something.
by the way, Brennan is the ultimate piece of shit, right? I mean, I'm sorry, brother, but man, that's the kind of guy you would love to punch right in the fucking face, right? I mean, what a piece of shit. I'm sorry. Maybe he was your former boss. I doubt you have a special place in your heart for him.
Yeah, no,
you
absolutely
know,
not.
but man, I got to call it like it is, my friend. I got to call it like it
They
is.
are
And,
snakes.
you know,
I tell you that they are snakes and backstabbers. And again, for 8 years, Obama was solidifying this left wing culture, this politically correct culture, this inclusion and
yep,
diversity inclusion culture, this cultural Marxist
yep,
culture into all of DC. And in that November, Obama calls an emergency meeting the day after, or a couple of days after the election. Hey, let's do something.
we
I
got to
mean,
stop him,
I'm not
right?
inventing this. I think there are sources that say it was almost like this or like this.
Yep,
He called his team of of the swamp. I mean, the owners of the swamp at that time. Let's do something to stop Trump. These are my orders. We need to sabotage him. We need to backstab him. We need to do something. Let's want to use your power now and in the future. Those of you who will remain, like Comey, those of you that will remain to to destroy Trump. I think Obama, this is my opinion, Obama gave them the order to destroy Trump. Immediately came this report on Russian interference, the Russiagate BS, all the conspiracy theories, all these Trump won because of Russia, all this BS hoax, this nonsense. And the people who stay after Obama leave office, like Comey and all these backstabbers in DOJ, in the top echelons of
well,
the
even at CIA, right? I
yeah,
mean,
CIA, the intelligence community, they all begin go to work to destroy Trump.
that's amazing. So back to my question: how can you not find evidence to put some of these people in prison? And
Yes,
okay, and let's say this: so if we find evidence, that would be treason, wouldn't it, or no?
this is the deal. I mean, I know every honest journalist in the United States that is honest, and actually everybody in the United States with a normal intelligence
Yeah.
that is over 5 years old knows that these snakes they went after Trump because of political reasons, because they hate Trump, because of their left wing ideology. We all know that. Smith, the Russia Gate,
Yeah.
the Paper Gate, the raid in Mar-a-Lago, all that nonsense. We all know that. The problem is that is very hard to prove in a court because what they are going to say, no, I was just doing my duty. I was just follow an investigative lead. I was following the lead of because of a law. And if they see that they are, that is not, I mean, that's not flying, Then they, oh, I was just following orders. I was following orders. I'm following orders. I'm following the president order and the vice president order. And you see, they will blame each other and they will say that they were just doing their job.
But
Yes,
it's
we
got to
know
stop
that's not
somewhere. I
true.
mean, somebody's got to be responsible for it, right? Or
Oh yeah.
you
Oh,
think it's
the
not?
White House, Biden, Obama, who is the most likely who was the force behind Biden,
Yeah.
that the real president was
Okay.
Obama. But all these people will say, well, they will defend themselves, saying, "No, you don't have evidence that I was acting with political." Like Jack Smith. I mean, he's a case.
You've been in the intel committee for a long time, including the CIA and others. You know how that game is played. You know it's very difficult, and you're confirming that right now that it's going to be very difficult to put somebody in prison. But with that said, Cash and Dan are going to be able to clean it up,
Oh
at least at
yes,
the
yes,
FBI, right?
yes. Because one thing is to prove something in court.
Yeah,
Okay? That's the hard part to prove intention, unless there is a WhatsApp or a message or a text. Hey, yeah, let's gonna f this son of a it. Okay, unless there is something like that or a message, and these people is not stupid. I mean, sometimes they are, but
yeah,
they are not really stupid every day. They are not
right,
going to put it on a WhatsApp or a text or anything like that or an email that is like that. They're going to have a secret meeting with all the cell phones off in the White House and the skiff where they can talk freely. That's what they're going to do. So it's very going to be very hard. But one thing is to prove something in court, the real intention of that investigation of Russiagate, of Papergate, of the Mar-a-Lago raid. Another thing is common sense.
yeah.
And what Cash Patel have to do is, okay, you, Agent Soso, you participated on this Mar-a-Lago thing, and you were the right hand of Jack Smith, right? Yes, sir, I was. And you wrote this declaration where you think that those documents were like illegal, right? And you suggested here in this email to take it over and to the charges, and right? Yes, sir. Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know. Fire.
Yeah.
You are out of here. And actually, you're banned from the federal government and your clearance is revoked. That is something that Trump can do. That's something that Cash Patel can do. That's something that, and we all know that that's the truth. We all
Yeah.
know why they did it because they are all part of this swamp.
So
That
is it considered a win, Ron? Is it considered a win if we can't put anybody in prison, but at least we get them fired and out of the system?
oh yes, and
They
even
could
if they
always
don't go
come
to
back with
prison,
another administration, though, right?
no, I mean you can take away their clearance. You can ban them from the federal government. You can fire them. I mean, there are many things. It will take a lot of effort. It's not impossible, but it will take a lot of effort. God forbid that 4 years from now, a left wing Newsom or somebody
Yeah.
wins election. God
Wants to bring them back. Yeah.
forbid that it might take some effort, but they can put them back. But right now, uh, Trump can fire them and ban them and take away the clearances. And if hopefully Vance will win in
Yeah.
2024. I'm sorry,
28.
2028,
Yep.
and this will continue and continue
Yeah.
because this guy doesn't deserve. These people don't deserve to be there. They were part of this swamp machine, this deep state machine
Yeah.
swamp that is very powerful,
Yeah.
and they were in the middle of it, rolling with it, going with the flow.
And the other thing is, I'm going through Twitter right now because there's so much happening. But is it considered a win? Is it considered a win to clean it up and
Of course,
not be able to arrest anybody?
of course,
It's a
yes,
win, right? So Trump did pull the clearance off of Brennan and all those guys, the whatever it was, 41 intelligence officers or analysts or whatever that signed that letter about Hunter Biden's laptop, right? So he killed their clearance. They should not be able to be working for a defense contractor or anybody else right now,
no,
right?
no, without the clearance, no, it's impossible, no. I mean, I mean, once they lost their clearance, they cannot work in any of those national security. Uh, Trump also banned them from the federal government in the whole.
For life, right?
I mean, he banned them from the federal government, so they are not. I mean, I understand. I heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not,
Yep.
that he banned them from entering federal buildings.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so you can tell me that is a very powerful win. All these appointees that Biden left over there, including the woke chief of staff, chairman of the chairman of the Joint Chief,
Yeah.
Milley, he also banned him, including all of these appointees. He cleaned house. Listen, Trump, the first time he came into power, back in January 2017, he was very shy. He was very shy in the sense
Yeah.
he didn't
Yeah.
know the system.
Yeah.
He was learning it.
Yeah.
He was just paying attention, getting advice. And the people he was getting advice, some
Yeah.
were good, but
Yeah.
some were not good, and some were even part of the
Yeah,
deep
yeah,
state.
yeah. There are a whole bunch of establishment Republicans, right? Which are
Yeah,
part of
John
that. They're
Bolton.
part of that. Part of that deep state crap, right?
Yes. So that was the first time. That's why he didn't do. But now he had 4 years of watching whatever disaster was happening in DC. All his enemies came forward to try to destroy him with Jack Smith and all this nonsense and the courts in Georgia and New York and all this DOJ. So he paid attention and he took note. This is the guy who people. This is the FBI people. This is the Pentagon people who are talking BS now, who are uh, who are appointments based on their gender and whatever. This is the people who is talking about me. He paid attention for 4 long years.
Oh yeah.
No, and
Yeah.
now in those 4 years, he created a team of loyalists, no shit, no BS people that will go straight to the point. And that's why we have seen this last month furious Trump going straight to the point with a list of to do. Done, 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 done. And that's why we have seen this such aggressivity. I mean, he just fired the top military person of the United States just a few days ago.
Hey, what
So
do you think about Ratcliffe?
I think he was okay because he was loyal in the first in the first administration, his first term. So he was loyal.
Yeah.
I don't know how good he is as far as the energy, the power of say Kash Patel or Tulsi Gabbard. I haven't seen that kind of energy on him or that kind of extreme assertive personality,
Yeah.
but he was loyal and he knows and he knew he learned something about intelligence because he was
Yeah, he was
all
the
the
House. Yeah, he was the chair. Yeah, for the House
yeah, all
Intel
the NI.
Committee.
So
Yeah.
now he's going to be to do what Kash Patel is doing in the FBI. He's going to do at the CIA, and hopefully he will do because the CIA is also up to the neck. And I can tell you, it's up to the neck in the same ideology, same swap mentality,
Which
same
one's worse?
mentality that Trump and his supporter are Walmart bad smelling Walmart customer. It's uh, the same despicable mentality towards Trump and his supporters. And I don't know if you saw Tom Hanks
Yeah.
recently in Saturday Night Live. That's what the elites
Yeah.
think of us. That's
Yeah.
what the elites think of Trump and his supporters. That's the how the despise us. I mean, how they look at us.
They're disgusting people, man. That's what they
The,
are.
a lot of the FBI and a lot of the CIA.
Which one's worse, CIA or the Bureau?
I'm sorry.
Which one's worse, in worse shape, the Bureau or the agency?
The FBI.
Okay.
Because the FBI, let me tell you what happened. People need to understand this.
Right. That's why having you on this show, my friend, is so important.
Yes, listen, if I am in the FBI, usually I work in the field, okay? I work in one of the field offices. Special agent in charge, a
Yeah.
SAC,
Yeah.
is in charge, okay? The field office in Miami, the field office in Philadelphia, the field office in San Francisco, whatever. But I don't want to stay there. I want to become a SAC myself. I'm most important. I want to go to DC. DC is where the big boys are. DC is where the big headquarters are. DC is the national command. I don't want to be mobile anymore.
Alabama or
I
whatever.
don't
Yeah.
want to be in Little Rock anymore. I want to go to DC. So I pay attention to the political leaning of the White House. What makes the White House smiling? What likes the White House and DOJ?
Wow.
And guess what? I'm going to align myself with them. Oh, and they are looking for extremists, right wing extremists, and white supremacists and whatever. And if I am in Richmond, I don't want to be in Richmond. If I am in the FBI, so what I
Yeah.
do to get my promotion? Oh, there are Catholic Latin mass people here in Richmond.
There you go.
I'm gonna target them. I'm gonna open an investigation on them. Why? Because they are right wing extremists. Because
I was
they are.
watching the I was watching the hearing yesterday, Ronnie, where they had Mark Garland in there, and he says you guys had SWAT teams, SWAT teams for these Catholic parents, and rated them. You brought in charges, and the
Terrorists. Those are
and
terrorists.
and the case was dismissed by a grand jury in under an hour. In under an hour. So, do you think that kind of use of resources, power, firepower, was necessary to grab some Catholic parents?
Absolutely not. This is nonsense. But
What was the
again,
intention of that? That was
what
to
they
scare
will
the shit
do.
out of people and intimidate people, right? Against the government.
This is what they will do, that those FBI agents will do to get promoted, to get invited to a position, a promotion in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
I gonna kneel to the White House, to the Biden White House, and do investigations and actions in accordance with the White House ideology. So these guys are very conservative. These guys are very, very conservative, very social conservative. I'm gonna target them because that's gonna be a good deed to the White House.
Right. So now I'm going to go back.
Parents,
So now I'm
the
going to go
parents,
back. I'm
and
going
the
to.
parents that go to the school board to say, I don't want this kind of books in my kids. I don't want that kind of books. Oh, those are again white supremacists. They are
Yeah.
terrorists. Not because they are, not because, of course not, that's a nonsense, but that will make happy the people in DOJ. That will make happy the people at the White House. And I want to be promoted. I don't want to be a GS 13 anymore. Now I want to be a GS 14. If I'm
Yeah.
a GS 15, I want to be an SES. I
Yeah.
want to invite me to to DC. And when they see that I persecute many terrorist parents because they don't like this book or that book in their kindergarten class, they will say, "Oh, that's one of ours.
Yeah.
He's one of ours. We
Yeah.
need to promote him. We need to bring him to Washington D.C." So that is the big problem of the FBI, that they were for 8 years under Obama and 4 years under Biden pledging to the political ideology of the White House. They were pleasing the political ideology.
Okay. But, going back to that then it's pretty obvious what they were doing, right? It's very obvious.
It's obvious. That's what I said. Everybody knows what they
and
do.
like you said, okay, maybe we don't have text message that says, okay, let's go fuck with these people, because it's going to get me a promotion. But to anybody that has, basic common sense can figure it out,
That's what I
what it
said.
was.
That
Yep.
I know, every honest person knows,
Yep.
everybody who is 5 years old
Yep.
and above knows the truth. It's hard to prove in court the intent of the person, but we all know what this is about. They
And
want to promote it. They want to kneel to Biden. That's
And the
it.
intelligence community is very smart, and that's what they do. They play in shadows, cloak and dagger games, and they know how to not get caught, right? So it's going to be very difficult to get these guys, at least, to prosecute them.
But they can be clean. They can be clean.
Yeah.
And that's why Kash Patel is over there to clean house.
Yeah. But I think, a lot of people are going to be very disappointed tonight when they hear this podcast, Ronnie, because I think the MAGA base, the Make America First policy base, really would like to see Adam Schiff and pieces of shit like that, Comey, McCabe, Stroke, put in prison or at least handcuffed for a fucking hour, and what you're telling us is that it's probably not going to happen, and that's disappointing to everybody. But I guess you got to look at it on the bright side. We're going to get rid of that garbage,
can be done.
Right?
The chances are small. They are not big, but if they are smart, and Pam Bondi is very very smart.
Yeah.
It can be done. For example, even though that people that Biden gave them the.
We got to get you in there, brother. We got to get you in there.
Thank you. Well, let's see.
Yeah.
But even that people that Biden gave them a preemptive pardon because he knew that Trump, Kash Patel will go after them. They also can go down. One example. Let's say that you do an investigation and you get all the emails, all the text messages, all the WhatsApps, all that, okay? Testimony. People that turns, again, and give testimony.
Yeah.
And you bring Chief or you could bring whatever under oath. You subpoena them. You bring them under oath, okay? And you ask them under oath, did you do this because of that? Why did you do that? What's the reason you did it? Oh, I did it because I was doing the law. I was following the law. You didn't do it because any other reason? No, of course not. Just because I was following the law. Well, we have here 3 affidavits, 4 emails, and 4 texts where you said you did it because you hate the guy. Because he's a despicable. Because he's a whatever. And because he's a Trump supporter. Then you got them. You got them for lying under oath. And you have no evidence against their testimony. So, yes, there are ways. There are not easy ways, but it's possible.
Man, I was hoping that, they would start issuing arrest warrants and all kinds of fun stuff tomorrow morning, and we'd see Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi and, Comey and McCabe, being paraded in handcuffs. But I guess you're telling me it's not going to happen tomorrow at least, right? It'll take some time, maybe.
It's not going to be that easy, but it can happen. It can happen. That's why they are there, to clean house and bring the truth. And all those secret documents of Jack Smith and those text messages and internal emails from the agency, they will come out. They will come out and people will see the corruption. Even if they don't go to jail, they will see the corruption from the inside.
And we saw that with Peter Strzok, right? And his text messages with his girlfriend, right? With the woman he had an affair with.
The smelly Walmart Trump supporters, of course.
Yeah. And, they didn't go to prison. On the contrary, they just won a major payout. I don't know how many millions of dollars because they got supposedly wrongfully terminated, and they walked away with, I can't remember, it was like $3 or $5 million a piece or something, which is, it's just ridiculous, man. David, where are we on commercial? Do we have to take a commercial break?
Yes.
All right, let's go. We'll be right back, Ronnie. We got to go give Mike Lindell his due.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 6-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sailed because right now, every order ships absolutely free.
All right, don't forget, let's give Mike Lindell a hand. Use promo code IGH and get those big discounts. Ronnie, so we got to get you into the FBI. I think Kash and Dan would love to have you. I'm going to make sure that Dan has your resume after we get off of the air. But you got to promise me one thing, man. You got to go clean house and fucking arrest some of these son of a bitches, man. Because, dude, come on. Everybody's excited, and now you're like pouring cold water on our party, telling us that nobody's going to go to prison. Come on,
No,
man.
no. Listen. I am excited, okay, because we see what Trump have done in a
Yeah,
month is more than we can imagine any president will do in a year.
yeah,
Okay, in this month he put everybody on place. I mean, he put Tulsi Gabbard, an amazing woman, extraordinary woman, courageous, smart, beautiful lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army Reserve, deployments to Iraq. He put her over there in ODNI. He put Kash Patel, that is a firebrand, on the FBI, and now Dan also in the FBI. He put all his people over there, headset in
yeah.
DOD. So it's amazing what he's doing. And these people are real firebrands, all of them. They are extraordinary people, extraordinarily talented, and we need to support that action. I mean, what he have done is amazing in just one short month. And we are all excited what these people is going to do during the next year, during the next 2 years, 3 years. I'm sure it's going to be nothing but amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we've had a president do as much as Donald Trump has done in a month, let alone 4 years. I mean, it's fantastic. We've talked about Russia and Ukraine a lot. I think a lot of people don't really understand the dynamics of Russia and Ukraine. I know that's an area of expertise for you. Can you explain it to people? Because people are anti the Ukraine thing because of the money. Well, let's not give them money. But really, what's behind the war? And why is Trump pretty much telling Zelensky to go fuck himself? And, it's. All right, I'll let you. Why don't you give a dissertation here? Because I don't think people really understand the whole thing outside of Russia invaded
Listen,
Ukraine,
it is
because it
very
wasn't like that.
complex, the war in
Yeah, I
Ukraine.
know. I know.
That is the issue. It's not the white and black
Yep.
situation. I mean, scenario that we have been hearing from the Biden administration.
Right.
And this is the deal. I'm not going into detail into the whole thing, but this is the deal. People who knows for sure that the Biden administration and all the minions of the Biden administration just said nonsense during years about Trump, and all the media that said fake news and nonsense about Trump, that same people suddenly said that everything that Biden was saying about Ukraine and everything that the media was saying about Ukraine was the truth. There was like a suddenly miraculous conversion. I mean, whenever this fake media, left wing media, talk about Trump, it's nonsense. It's fake news.
Yeah.
But when they talk about Ukraine, oh, that's the truth. It's the gospel. That
Yeah.
is what happened. When Biden said propaganda against Trump, the laptop, whatever, Russia Gate, the white supremacists, all that stuff, oh, that's fake news. That's nonsense. But when Biden says something about Ukraine, oh, that is the truth, of course. President Biden is saying the truth about Ukraine. So that is the great contradiction that in which many Republicans felt, and they don't even realize that they are following a great contradiction. Okay, that is the part. Listen, basically, just to go very to the basics, this war is a very complex war. It's not white and black like the press, like the media, like the Biden regime
Yeah.
have been telling us for the last 4 years, okay? For the last 3 years. It's not as simple as that. In Ukraine, what we have is a civil war. Basically, it's a civil war between the Ukrainians from the south and the east and the Ukrainians from the north and the west. They are completely different people, completely different ideology, ethnic group, religion, uh, language. Everything is completely different. And this is the reason why, because Ukraine is a Frankenstein country. It's a country created of pieces of many countries, of Hungary, of Romania, of Poland, that was linked. I mean, that was placed into one big country, but in reality, it's a Frankenstein country. The people from the north and the west of Ukraine, that are mostly Polish people, they hate Russia. They don't speak Russia. They do not belong to the Russian Orthodox Church. They see themselves as Polish. They see themselves as Hungarians. They want to be with Europe. They want to be with the European Union. They don't have family in Russia. They don't have anyone in Russia. They don't care about Russia. The people from the south and the east, they are Ukrainians, but they speak Russian. They have family in Russia. They see themselves as Russians. They belong to the Russian Orthodox Church, loyal to Moscow.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different two countries, peace on one. And what the Biden administration have been doing is supporting strictly the people from the north and the west against the people from the south and the east. And what Russia have been doing is supporting the people from the south and the east that are the Ukrainians. So you have a very big civil war that began actually in 2014 that took process in 2022. And this is what the people don't understand. You cannot, and let me be very clear about this, you cannot defeat a nuclear superpower with thousands and thousands and thousands of nuclear weapons who is fighting a critical existential war. How do you do that? You don't. You can't. And the people, the neocons, the globalists, they don't understand that. Okay, it's true. The United States left Vietnam, 1975, and the United States is a nuclear superpower. True. But Vietnam was not a critical existential war for the United States.
Right.
The Soviet Union left Afghanistan. That's true, in 1989. But Afghanistan was not a critical existential war for the Soviet Union. Germany lost an existential critical war, World War II.
Yeah.
The Nazi regime, they lost, okay. But they were not a nuclear superpower.
Yeah.
When you are a nuclear superpower with thousands and thousands of nuclear weapons and hypersonic missiles and space gliders that go 15 times the speed of sound, and you are fighting a existential critical war, you cannot lose. That's what the neocons don't understand, but Donald Trump understands that. That is why Donald Trump is speaking to Putin, bringing the Russians to Saudi Arabia, to Riyadh, sending Marco Rubio over there to
Yep.
talk to them, because he understands that this war, the only way to solve this thing is by negotiation and de-escalating. If this thing is escalating, then it's going to be terrible for the world. We were not about to back down in 1962 when the Soviet Union put missiles in Cuba, because that was an existential critical threat to the United States. So it's the same thing with Russia now. They are not going to back down now. It's impossible to defeat a nuclear superpower when they are fighting a critical existential war. Trump knows that, and now Trump is trying to de escalate and is trying to get to a deal, to get a negotiation cease of this war. And after that, Trump wants to engage Russia in economic development, gas, titanium, rare earths, rare minerals, etc., etc., etc. But the neocons are trying to sabotage that, and all the Democratic Party, 100% of the Democratic Party, is trying to sabotage and stop that.
Wow, that was amazing, dude. That's why we need you on the show to explain it that way, because not everybody understands, right? And you know, the other thing is, you know, trying to include Ukraine and NATO. That was an agreement that was already on the table, right? Also trying to put fucking nukes, you know, right up on the border on Russia. There's, like you said, there is no way they were going to allow that to happen. Like, there is no way we were going to allow nuclear warheads to be in Cuba. It's the same crap, right?
It's the same thing. What are we going to do? Tell me, what is the United States going to do if Mexico signs a pact, a military pact with Russia and China, and they agree to a mutual defense pact with Russia and China and deploy hundreds of thousands of soldiers in northern Mexico, in the border with California, San Diego, very close to San Diego, or very close to Texas over there. What are we going to do? And by the way, they're going to put missiles over there pointing to the United States. What are we going to do?
We're going to invade them.
It's just, you need to understand the world.
Yeah.
You need to put yourself in the shoes of your foes, to put yourself in the shoes of your opponents, so you can understand what's going on from their viewpoint, from their perspective. And this is what the neocons don't understand, that's what the Democrats do not understand, and this is what the globalists don't understand. Trump knows it, and that's why Trump is completely turning around the Biden nonsensical globalist neoconist policies, and he's trying to get Russia to sit down and end this war with a negotiation agreement before it's too late. Because if it's too late, brother, not even you or me, we're not going to be here anymore. I'm
No.
telling you. If it's too late, it's too
So,
late.
so what do the neocons want? I mean, they can't want a
took this
nuclear.
idea
They
and
can't
came with
want a
this crazy
nuclear
idea.
standoff, right? What do they want?
Listen, again, so people understand.
Yeah.
This war was about to end 1 month after Russia invaded Ukraine in March of 2022. Okay, about 4 weeks after the one began, there was a document to end the war that Ukraine and Russia signed already. The draft, the first draft is already signed in Turkey. They were negotiating in Turkey, in Istanbul. They were over there, and they were negotiating the end of the war in March of 2022. Then suddenly, Boris Johnson, a neocon, completely globalist neocon, equivalent of what we call here a rhino, a pseudo conservative. I mean, pseudo because the conservative, I mean, he's any given Mitt Romney, let's call it that way. So Boris Johnson, Prime Minister of the UK, flies to Kiev, meet with Zelensky, that already signed the draft, and say, hey, stop it. No more negotiations. Get your team out of Turkey. Get them out of Istanbul. Get them out. Hey, but we already signed the first draft. No first draft. No second draft, nothing. Get out of there. Get out of Turkey. Continue with the war. We're going to give you hundreds of thousands of billions of dollars. We're going to give you everything, intelligence, missile, planes, submarines, whatever. We're going to give you everything. You have to fight until the last Ukrainian, and you will see that we will defeat Russia together. And Zelensky bought that. And after that, we know what we have been. More than 1 million people is dead, and Ukraine is destroyed. The plan of Boris Johnson, the neocon globalist rhino, equivalent of the UK, and obviously the plan of Biden, who was his boss, organizing everything. The plan was, let's gonna inflict damage on Russia. Let's gonna kill hundreds of thousands of Russian soldiers. Let's gonna destroy the Russian economy with the sanctions. And then the people of Russia will race against Putin, and they will take him over. And once they take him out by via revolution, via coup, whatever, then we can break Russia into little countries, into 12, 14, 13 little countries. And then those little countries we will be able to control. We will be able to be the puppet master of those little countries. So that is the secret plan of Biden, of Boris Johnson, Macron, etc., etc., etc. And they are using Zelensky. They decided in 2022 to use Zelensky and the Ukrainian people, with the one that is suffering the most, for accomplish that plan. That is the plan of the neocons. That's the plan of the globalists.
That's amazing. We got to go to a commercial break real quick, and we're going to be right back. That is fascinating information, Ron.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98, kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sailed because right now, every order ships absolutely free.
All right, Mike Lindell, promo code IGH. So what a disaster! And I got to ask you a question: are they crazy to believe that would work?
I mean, the thing is when your ideology blinds your logic, and when your ideology, your fanaticism blinds your critical thinking, they can believe anything. I mean, remember, we live in the world of the insane.
Yeah, yeah,
If I want to declare myself whatever,
yeah. A giraffe. Yeah.
if I declare myself a dog, I'm a dog.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. So we live in the time of complete insanity, and in the mentality of these neocons, of these globalists. Oh, that sounds like a good plan to me. I mean, it's absurd. It goes against reality. It goes against the facts. It goes against history. It goes against military science. It goes against political science. But these people don't believe in any of that. They just go by their feeling, by the way.
But there's got to be a lot of money involved, Ron. I mean, you played in that realm, in that environment. It's not just ideology. I think it's ideology to some greenbacks, right?
Of course. I mean, they wanted the power. They want to see Russia destroyed. They want to see Russia breaking down, and then do what many oligarchs and many people did in the 19th, that it was stealing all the gas, all the oil that Russia has, all the mineral, all the titanium, because right now, Putin controls that.
Yeah.
But in their mind, if they destroy Putin, they break down Russia into 12 different little countries, republics, then they can go and steal it again. So yes, it's a lot of money and a lot of power. Yes, of course.
That's crazy, bro. I mean, so we're going through all this shit. We're spending hundreds of millions of dollars or billions.
And
right?
everything
Billions.
could have been stopped in March of 2022 in Turkey.
That's crazy. And all because of the rhinos, the neocons, the establishment on both sides are more interested in accumulating power and accumulating wealth than what's the right thing to do. I hope, man, that Kash and Ratcliffe and Bongino and
We'll see.
and Pam Bondi, right, and Tulsi, right, all those that entire team, because the dream team can come in and kind of fix this, and we can't, say enough about Marco as well. I think Marco is in his natural role as Secretary of State.
And he's doing a very good job. Let me tell you, he's doing took me by surprise. But he's doing a very good job. He's following the marching orders of Trump, and he's doing well. Marco is doing very well.
Yeah, I think everybody's pretty impressed with him, right? I haven't heard anybody, not even the left, criticize Rubio. And when Marco goes out there and he's talking to the media, he was always articulate. He's always smart. I mean, he was Speaker of the House here in Florida. He's a lawyer. Ran for U.S. Senate, etc. So he's sharp.
He's doing very well. He's following Trump's directive. He's understanding what Trump wants to achieve. So I think Marco Rubio is doing very well. Yes, absolutely.
How do you see this thing coming to an end, the Russia-Ukraine situation? Because I saw the... before we do that, I'm sorry. Germany. What happened in Germany?
It's a complete disaster.
Right, but the conservatives won, right?
It's a complete disaster.
Yep.
Mitt Romney won.
Yeah.
Mitt Romney won. I mean, So what? The old guy in the senator, the old guy that is voting against Tulsi. What's his name? The guy from Kentucky.
Yeah. McConnell. Yeah.
McConnell won.
Yeah. Oh my
So
God.
what?
Yeah.
Okay, Mitt Romney won. McConnell won. So what? Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
listen, it's a complete disaster
So it's bullshit. Yeah.
for two reasons. Number one, first of all, Alternative for Deutschland, that is not a right wing or neo-Nazi
Yeah.
party. That's BS.
Yeah.
They are neo-Nazi like Trump is white supremacy
Yeah.
and that's right wing extreme. It's nonsense. Okay, it's absolute nonsense. The press, it's a creation of the media. Okay, the leader actually is a libertarian, self-declared libertarian lesbian. I mean, Alice Windle, she's a self-declared libertarian lesbian, whatever. They are not a right wing
Right.
extremist or neo-national like that. But they are, yes, they are right wing libertarians. Let's call it that way. They got 20% of the vote, and they become the number two party. So it's great. But the thing is, at the same time, they let the CDU win. So that's terrible. And the CDU is have lost every single inch of conservative they had in the last 10, 15 years. They have
Yeah.
lost everything.
And now they're
Even
talking about the
the
socialists again.
CDU govern chancellor Angela Merkel,
Yeah.
who opened the gates of Europe, 2 million immigrants
Immigrants.
have nothing to do with European culture, have nothing to do with European heritage, with European mentality. They let them in. I mean, and among those, a lot of extremists, a lot of radicals, a lot of terrorists, a lot of people with the ghetto mentality that doesn't want to integrate themselves into the society. Nothing to do, like, for example, with the Indian doctor that we have here in the United States, that they come from India and suddenly they integrate in the society and they become doctors and they become, very productive part of the society. Nothing to do with that. He opened the gate, Flood opened the gates to 2 million people, and that was Angela Merkel from the CDU.
Yeah.
They everything that conservative
Yeah. The
in the
CDU sided with the socialists. That's what Mr.
exactly
Producer
that's
just
what
said
I'm
to
telling
me.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Romney won the president. Mitt Romney won the chancellor of Germany.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not a good
Big
news.
deal. Yeah. He's a fucking no backbone piece of shit. Right.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
nonsense
and you heard his commentary, right? That he said,
against Trump.
against Trump, we have to figure out that we have to separate ourselves from the United States of America going forward. So
And
I was
that
like,
Trump is an extremist.
yeah,
And that
yeah,
Trump is a radical.
yeah,
And that Trump is doing business with dictators. And he bought all the BS, propaganda BS of the left wing media.
yeah,
There is no difference between the socialists and the so-called CDU. There is no
yeah,
difference. There is only the letters of the party is different.
yeah, yeah,
The ideology, the objective are the same, and they hate the Alternative for Deutschland party, and they hate Trump,
yeah,
and they hate all of us,
yeah,
all of the supporters,
yeah,
and they are going to continue with the Biden agenda. They're going to continue with the Soros agenda. They're going to continue with the globalist neocon agenda. And this guy is even worse than Scholz, because Scholz at least knew that if you poke a bear very hard, the bear is going to slap you back.
yeah,
Okay? And this guy doesn't understand this thing. He's a furious neocon, a furious globalist, and he's already talking about continuing to the end, to the last Ukrainian, the war in Ukraine without the United States. That
yeah. Good
that
luck with
Trump,
that. I mean,
the
they'll get
United
smashed. I mean, they'll get smashed. I just
yeah,
can't
of
see.
course, but that's his mentality. That's his promise, his campaign promise. So it's a complete disaster in Germany, and I'm very sorry because I love Germany. I live over there for 5 years. I have many friends in Germany. I love the beauty of the country. I love the people, but I'm very sorry for this. Is tragic for Germany that the Alternative for Deutschland only got 20%. It's a good result for them, but obviously it's far, far, far in from being the great result that we wanted. And now this guy, Merz, is coming to destroy the country.
Yeah.
And even worse, not only he will continue with the war, not only he will attack Trump and attack the United States, but he also will continue destroying the economy of Germany, because it's the gas, the lack of Russian gas, and the sanctions against Russia what is destroying the German economy.
Yeah.
And that's why they are completely, I mean, they are in a paralysis for the last 2, 3 years. The German economy is going down, and this guy is going to continue with their self-inflicted these terrible policies.
So in other words, they're in the toilet, they're in the shitter. Romania,
Sadly,
what's going
sadly,
on? What's going on in
yes.
Romania? They canceled an election. What's going to happen over there?
Well, that's in Romania.
Is that even more complicated?
is it's very simple. The guy that the European Union, the globalists did not like, and they don't want it, they won. He won, so they canceled the elections. If you don't like who wins, just cancel the election. Problem solved. You don't have to deal. I mean, they tried to do something like that with Trump. Remember?
Yeah.
We don't like him. We don't want him to win the election.
Yeah.
That's going to put him in jail.
Yeah.
Very similar, right?
But are they calling for new elections, or what's going to happen over there?
They are deciding to do new elections. Yes, they are going to hopefully do elections. There are some good people over there in Romania. There is some people that will try again. But again, this is the power of the speech
Yeah.
that Vice President Vance gave in Munich. I mean, that is the beauty. That is the power. That is the amazing power. Vice President Vance goes over there to Munich and tells them, listen, I'm not really worried about Russia. I'm not really worried about China. I'm worried about you.
Yeah.
You are the problem. How dare you put in England, put this guy on jail because he was quietly praying outside a clinic.
Yeah.
How dare you,
Yeah,
an
in-
army
in-
veteran?
in
How
England,
dare
yeah.
you? Shame on you. How dare you put people on jail because of a mean tweet?
Yeah.
How dare you? I mean, how dare you cancel election because the guy who won, because you don't like him?
Yeah.
How dare you? That is a slap on the face. I mean, he spit on their face over there, and that's why they're so desperate. And that's the beauty of that speech of J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, amazing speech, because basically, when Trump, the candidate says that, oh, that's a right wing extremist. That we canceled you. We fined you. With any patriotic party in Europe say that, oh, right wing extremist, we cancel you. We fine you $5,000 fine. Actually, 1 month of jail for hate crime, whatever.
Yeah.
But now, the vice president of the United States, the honor guest, goes over there and tells them the same thing in their faces.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? It's an egg on the face moment.
Yeah, they got hammered. So wrapping up, I know you got to go. Is how does this Ukraine-Russia situation get resolved? Does it get resolved? Can Trump do it? We're hearing Zelensky pushing back and attacking Trump, and Marco Rubio coming out saying, I don't know what this guy's thinking, but attacking Trump in public is not a good strategy. And he's saying that he's not going to do this deal for minerals for the U.S. to pay us back, et cetera, et cetera. So this guy has no intention of peace. It's that clear. He wants to fight. He's trying to engage the United States against Russia. Since that's not going to happen, now he's telling the United States, fuck you. I'm going to continue fighting. I have the EU to support me. Take a hike. See you later.
Listen,
How does this stop?
The pigeon needs to understand that he's the pigeon and he cannot attack the shotgun. Okay, and that's something that Zelensky still doesn't understand.
Yeah.
He's the pigeon. Okay, he cannot attack the shotgun.
Yeah.
And the United States is a shotgun. Okay.
Yeah.
He have the roles inverted. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, everything is going to be solved. Most of it is going to be solved when Putin meets Trump face to face.
In Riyadh, right.
Face to face. The 90-minute phone via phone was great, but once they can talk face to face and get to a negotiation and get to you get this, but please don't get that. I want this, but maybe you cannot get that. When they get to that point, a lot will be solved. And then Trump will need to force that agreement into Ukraine. And most likely Zelensky will say no.
Yeah.
He still have the ear, I mean, of Macron,
Yeah.
of now Merz in Germany, that is going to be a lot worse than Scholz
Yeah.
and Starmer in the UK. Okay, so what is going to happen? Trump most likely will get to an agreement with Trump. I mean, with Putin.
Putin.
They will put this peace plan. Zelensky will believe these three globalists, and he will continue the war without Trump until reality explodes in his face and he find out that he cannot do it without Trump and with the United States. And after 6 months of bittersweet suffering and egg on his face, he will come back to Trump. Okay, you were right. Let's going to implement the peace plan because, yeah, you were right from the
You
start.
don't think there's more there, right? About the whole Biden corruption. You saw Elon Musk say that there's evidence that a lot of the money that went to Ukraine came back to politicians in the U.S. You don't think that's why they're fighting to keep protecting and defending and supporting Ukraine and Zelensky?
Oh, yes, that's part of it, of course. The military industrial complex got a lot of money, yeah, of this money, okay? Most of the weapons were already made and sent, and then the military gave the order to the military industrial complex to create more weapons for more billions and billions and billions of dollars to replace the weapons that were sent. And obviously, the military industrial complex, out of those hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars,
Yeah.
he knew how to feed some pockets of politicians, of course,
Yeah.
PACs and advertisements and different ways to.
NGOs and whatnot. Right.
There you go, of course. I mean, they are not going to do directly,
Yeah.
but they find ways. They find ways in which some big chunk of that thousands of billions of dollars
Yeah.
will make it back to the politicians that authorized that in the first place, of course.
That's amazing. Ron Aledo, ladies and gentlemen, he's a stud. Follow him on X, Ron Aledo4. And that's really where you play ball, right? On X, or are you on other platforms?
Yeah, and in YouTube, Ron Aledo Exia Contractor, and in X, Ron Aledo Exia Contractor. So please follow me over there, of course.
Fantastic. Ron, thank you very much for coming on. It's always an educational day when Ron Aledo is on the show. Thank you very much, my friend. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Yep. All right. Excellent. All right, guys. I hope any kind of doubts on anything from Pam Bondi to Kash to Dan Bongino to the FBI to Ratcliffe to the CIA to Jesus, we've covered so much. We went into Russia, Ukraine, into Germany, Romania, back to UK, and others that are supporting Zelensky, and why it's not going to be as easy as it'll be done tomorrow. But you heard it directly from the expert. There will be a deal. It will get done, maybe 6 months. But it is what it is. Anyways, we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the show.